So this is the second part of lesson 1. We're picking up where we left off, the Townshend Acts. Okay, so we saw that they implemented the Stamp Act, but they got them to repeal it, so now they're going to do something else. Repealing the Stamp Act meant that the colonists were no longer taxed by the British government, but colonists were concerned that the Declaratory Act stated that Parliament could make laws in the colonies in all cases whatsoever. These concerns were confirmed in the summer of 1767 when the Townshend Acts were passed, named after Charles Townshend, the Member of Parliament who proposed them. These were a series of acts that placed tariffs, or taxes, on products coming into the colonies. Glass, tea, lead, and paper were all taxed. Tariffs are usually used to control trade, but in this case, they were used to raise money for Great Britain. As part of the Townshend Acts, a strict system for customs or tax collections was established. The acts also lifted the British export tax on tea so that Great Britain could ship tea to the colonies for free. So, basically, if they wanted a product that was not British, they had to pay taxes. But British tea was free, so they could have all the British tea they wanted. But everything else, back to the paper goods as well, they had to pay taxes on. Once again, the colonists were taxed without representation. They reacted by boycotting British products, harassing tax collectors, and refusing to pay the taxes. British merchants began to lose money. To control the protests and scare colonists, King George III sent warships into the Boston Harbor in 1768. This did not deter the colonists. Merchants continued to lose money. British merchants asked their government to repeal the acts. As a result of the turmoil they caused, the Townshend Acts were repealed in April of 1770. Only a tax on tea remained. Parliament wanted to send the message that they had the right to tax the colonies. Although the repeal of the Stamp Act and the Townshend Acts were victories for the colonists, tensions were still high. British troops were in Boston, and colonists were paying a tax on their tea. So our third reading checkpoint in this lesson, it says use the chart to describe the Townshend Acts. Talk to a partner and summarize the acts and their effects. So a little cause and effects. We have the Townshend Acts, and then we're going to put the effects in these boxes. I will fill in 2 of them for you, and then I would like you to fill in the rest, okay? So the first kind of thing that was established were that tariffs were raised. Now, tariffs are just taxes, okay? So tariffs raised. Now, you do not need to write incomplete sentences in these boxes. And since they raised the taxes, then they came up with a system for tax collection, and that was established. Okay, so you have 2 of the effects of the Townshend Acts. Your remaining 2, one is going to deal with something being removed for the exports and what's going to happen to the import tax. So one's going to be about export tax, one's going to be about import tax, okay? So I'm giving you the answers of what the topics are, but you have to figure out what happened to each of those taxes. Okay, so you can take a minute, pause the video, and do that now. If you've already done so, I'm going to continue on with the lesson 1 check. I will explain it to you. All right, we see another lovely chart here, causes and effects. It says multiple causes and effects and analyze. How the French and Indian War affected the relationship between the British and the 13 colonies. Then complete the chart to explain the effects of the war. That sounds familiar. It was one of the activities that I said you didn't have to talk to a parent or a cousin. If you wanted to, you could, but I asked you to write it in the little blank space in the corner. Comes up again. Okay, so if you did that, you're ahead of the game. So they gave you the causes. The British did not want to cause problems with the American Indians. So, what was the effect of that? Colonists were not what? The British passed the Stamp Act to pay for the war. What did they think about the Stamp Act? What was the effect? The colonists did what? Okay. 5. In this lesson, you have read about why people were against the Stamp Act and other taxes. However, some colonists were in favor of these actions. Develop and present a logical argument in support of the British taxes. Okay, this is kind of your opinion here. You want to put yourself in the place of a colonist, but you want to be a colonist that supports the British taxes. Now, give a reason to why you should support them. Okay, you do not have a choice. It's asking you to be from the point of view of supporting the British taxes. And then 6, it says understand the quest connections. How did King George III's actions contribute to anti-British feelings? Okay, what was this whole lesson about? All right, that's going to help you answer that question. What is it titled? Okay, all right. Good luck with finishing the lesson 1 check. I will see you back here for lesson 2.